Today's video is to show you how I upgraded my solar system. I now have a 200 amp hour deep cycle battery. So I'm going to show you how I set it up to my inverter and charge controller and my solar panel. This is a very massive battery. This is a deep cycle battery, maintenance free. And here is a closer look. 12 volts 200 ampere sealed maintenance free rechargeable battery. This battery is longer than 1 foot. I used to have a 130 watt solar panel. I've added 250 watts to be able to charge the battery. But for this installation, I will make use of one 250 watt solar panel. So I'm looking for the positive side on the charge controller. I'll hook up the positive side of the battery on the charge controller. So I tighten it firmly. Now I connect the negative terminal of the battery to the charge controller. I would like to lift the inverter for proper ventilation. It's time to hook up the battery, the inverter and the charge controller. So if you look at the battery, we have the plus, which is the positive, and the negative, which is the minus. So I'm going to hook up everything positive to the positive side of the battery. Remember, the red color is the positive. So I take the positive side of the inverter, hook it up with the positive side of the battery, and also the positive from the charge controller. So I trade the positive from the charge controller. So what I have here now is a positive terminal of the battery connected to the positive terminal of the inverter, also connected to the positive terminal of the charge controller. So everything positive. I combine the three positive in one place. That is the positive side of the battery. So I tighten it so I can have a firm connection. Now I'm done with that. I pick the negative terminal of the inverter, and I join it with the negative terminal of the battery, and I'm also going to join the negative terminal from the charge controller. So everything negative, and you can see the charge controller is up whenever I touch the battery. So I now connect and tighten it firmly, and we'll be ready to have electricity from this setup. So that is the voltage of my battery. It's time to hook up the solar panel. I have just one 250 solar panel to test, to use with this setup. So that is a label I made on the wire to show the positive side of the connection coming from the solar panel. So I look for solar icon on the charge controller. So I insert the positive side of the solar panel into the positive side. So I also take the negative side from the solar panel and hook it up to the negative side of the charge controller. And you can see right now that the battery is charging. The voltage is 12.2. You can see a blink showing that the solar panel is charging the battery. So this is the remote and the extension cable for the inverter. So I'm going to hook it up now. We shall use that to put on and off the inverter. So I'm going to plug this end somewhere on the inverter now, and we're going to use that remote to switch on and off our solar system. So this end goes to the inverter. Let me show you where to plug it in, and that is it. It's in place. Now this is a supply to my shade. So when I plug this, it's going to distribute the electricity to my shade. Everything is set. It takes less than 8 minutes to set this thing up. And here is this remote. I've powered it, and I have electricity now in my shade. Let me turn on the fan and see what I can power from this little setup. So I go with the light first, and the light is on. Then the next, I try the fan, and there you can see the fan turning. And after a while, the fan is now in full motion. So the ceiling fan and the electric bulb is working at the moment. Let's see if we can add some gadgets. So I'm like to connect my laptop and see if it's going to charge. So I want to see if I can charge my laptop from solar. So here is the other end of the laptop. Watch the battery of the laptop. It's beginning to charge. can see the battery now is not charging. So I have the laptop, the ceiling fan, and the bulb. So I have a subwoofer here. Let's see if we can turn it on. That's the audio cable. I want to plug it into my 3.5 millimeter jack on the laptop. So can I play a song? Let's see. I'm looking for a song to play. And here we are. A song is played. You can see the subwoofer is on and the music is playing loud, but I have to put out the audio to avoid copyright. And the laptop is charging. And the bulb and the fan is also working. So this is how I get electricity while working on my shed. Actually, I did a video about this setup before, but most people complained that the audio was very bad, so I have to redo it with a very nice audio. So the sun is not out there and the power is dropping. You can see we have just 2 green bars. When we have 4 green bars, that is a full battery. So with this, I can power my laptop from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. every blessed day, with or without the sun. Now here is the components I used. My solar panel is 250 watts. My charge controller is 20 amps. My inverter is 12 volt 1500 watts. And my battery is a 12 volt 200 amp hour. So here are the list of gadgets I was able to power with this little setup: electric bulb, ceiling fan, 9 volts 3.4 amps laptop, and 25 watts subwoofer. On a very sunny day, I can power more gadgets. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.